Doom 2 is a much better game than the first. And that is saying a lot since Doom was already a fantastic game. When people talk about Doom, they're usually talking about this game. Even though on paper this seems like a minor upgrade to the last game, it isn't. It's much more than that. Even as someone that has very little experience with both of these games, I can tell the difference. If Doom was leaps and bounds better than Wolf 3D, then this game is in a different parking lot. Does that make sense? I don't think that really makes much sense, but you know what I'm saying. It's not all perfect, and I will get into that, but I really want to emphasize this game is fantastic. It has earned its legacy, and if for whatever reason you haven't played it yet, Zesty, then maybe you should try it out even if you haven't played the first game. Make sure to comment, Zesty, Kratos is totally in Doom 2 in the comment section down below to get Zesty to do a no ammo upgrade run plus on his YouTube channel. That will happen. Also comment Stinker Bingus. First level is pretty boring. It is a lot shorter than the first level of the last game, though we do get to get a chainsaw and a rocket launcher here. The shotgun itself is actually hidden, which is just very strange. I've seen people play a lot of death matches on this map. I've never done so myself, but honestly, I just don't really see why you would pick this one and not just do a custom map. I don't know. Don't really get the appeal in theory. Maybe in practice it's better, I don't know. I'm not gonna be talking about every single level, so let's just get to the best gun already. The Super Shotgun is the first OP shotgun in FPS history, I think. It shoots 2 shells at a time, spending more ammo faster, but does crazy amounts of damage. It is one of the most satisfying things in this game to take out a bunch of lower level enemies with one single shot. The only thing that's bad about it is the fire rate, since it is slower than the normal shotgun is. Other than that, it's perfect. It shreds through these demons like crazy, and I love it for it. No single COD gun compares to this thing. It's like if the Spaz 12, the Model 1887, the Pack-a-Punch DBS, and the Striker from Modern Warfare 3 all got together and had a baby, and that baby was also their grandfather because it's older than them. Now that all being said, the original shotgun does still have its uses. Saving ammo and hitting farther targets, that's about it. I don't know if this is actually true, I could be wrong, but it seems that the original shotgun seems to have a tighter spread and thus it's better at hitting targets that are farther away. Anyways, Doom 2 does not just give you this amazing weapon for no reason, it makes you use it. There are a lot more enemies in this game than there were in the first. It can get pretty ridiculous later on, but even on these earlier levels, it's noticeable. We eventually run into some new faces. First, we have the Chain Gunner. Basically, the SS from Wolf 3D, but worse. Or better. Well, worse for us, but better. He's stronger. He's better worse. He goes down pretty quickly, even just to the normal shotgun, but just like the SS, he is a hit scanner. A full auto hit scanner. If you are caught off guard, he can do away with a big chunk of your health, especially if there's more than just one that spots you. This level is when the game starts to really show you that there's going to be more enemies in this game than in the first one. Once again, I felt at times that I just didn't have enough ammo to deal with everything that the game was throwing at me. But also, just like last time, I feel like it could have been in part my fault for not knowing all the secrets. This problem was more noticeable towards the first half of the game. As I went on, it was basically no longer a problem. That being said though, I did go down to just the chainsaw at one point, so there is that. Now that all being said, even though it will definitely sound like I'm contradicting myself right now, we also somehow get a lot more ammo than we did before. I actually managed to use the BFG on a semi-regular basis in this game because I actually had the ammo for it. I did not feel guilty using the plasma gun or the rocket launchers either because I had the ammo to actually use it. Anyways, we get introduced to a new enemy, the Hell Knight, which is just a Baron with half of the health and a different color. Not much more to say about it. It's a decent threat, but you know, it's just a Baron but weaker. The Super Shotgun makes him not really much of a threat, honestly. After that, we get the totally original tall, scary skeleton man, the Revenant. I hear this guy's pretty infamous. He has a decent amount of health and packs a pretty good punch. Not literally, as his melee attack kind of sucks. He shoots missiles that will home in on us, making it a bit harder to dodge his attacks. They aren't too fast though, so you can semi-easily move out of the way when he does this. We also re-encounter the Spider Mastermind in this level, but he's kind of just placed there to purposely get crushed. Why? I don't get it. Is this a... why? But yeah, Doom 2 takes the boss demons from the last game and makes them a more reoccurring thing. It definitely doesn't just make them a part of the normal enemy roster, but they aren't just for the very end of the levels. Side note, I'm not the biggest fan of the start of this level. It's kind of bad, but it does get a lot better later on. Next, we get two new enemies in the level dead simple. The Mancubus and the The Mancubus and the Arachnatron. The Mancubus is a big chunky boy, reminiscent of the puppets from Wolf 3D in the sense that they shoot fire at you. Except here it's a lot faster, but that's where my mind immediately went to. These are the puppets, but fat. Not puppets. I think the projectiles are the fastest ones in the game, probably. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I can't unhear them saying hump your mom because Civvy said that in his video on Doom 2, and every time they make that noise, I think they're saying hump your mom. Thanks, Civvy. You infected my brain, you son of a bitch. The Arachnatrons, on the other hand, are way worse. They shoot plasma rifle shots at you, which is a lot better than the chain gun that the Spider Mastermind had, to be fair. But no, it's not the attack that sucks about them, or the amount of health that they have. It's the noise they make when they aren't dead. It's so loud. I might as well be taking psychic damage from this. It gets even worse when they're out of sight and you can still hear them and you don't know where they are. This level sucked because this constantly is the stupid noise. Yeah, it's a neat idea though, being like a miniature version of the boss. I kind of like that idea, but I like when they're dead more. The next level is a neat gimmick with the multiple doors you go down to take multiple different pathways. There is a decent amount of trial and error in this, as some doors lead to some simple things and others lead to death unless you know what you're getting into ahead of time. I really like the room with the Cyber Demon, as you can let the Barons do most of the work. Can't let them have all the fun though. The room with the Pinky is also kind of fun. Speaking of Pinkies though, they are used a lot less in this game than they were in the last. It's kind of reminiscent of the God of War 2 thing where they don't use the enemies from the last game as much in the sequel, kind of. This is also where we get introduced to the Pain Elementals, brown Cacodemons that spawn in Lost Souls. Not the biggest fan of these guys because I hate the annoying bird enemies in this game. He also spawns a few of them when he dies, so there's just like no way of avoiding it unless he's in like a confined space. Then they explode on spawning in. This guy existing does have the weird effect on me where I expect a Cacodemon to explode when I kill it, and he doesn't, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. This is around the time where the game starts throwing enemies at you like crazy. Not every waking moment, but the game will test you at times. This is both fun and terrible, like in Refueling Base. If I was recording my reaction to this level, you would have heard me say things like, "Why are there so many?" Or, "It never ends," or, "Where do they keep coming from?" Or, "Oh my Lord Jesus, thank you that I finally found a little bit of ammo after searching for 20 hours. Okay, maybe that last one I made up. The level is just too big with way too many enemies. It took me 21 minutes to beat, and I didn't even get everything. Not fun. But again, maybe it was my fault. Maybe I went in with too little ammo. I don't know. Not the biggest fan. I think they should have toned it down, just a tad. Just a tad, you know? There were some fun parts, to be fair, but I spent too much time on this level to feel fun overall. This is also around the point where Doom 2 starts to make me question my intelligence. Is it me, or are some of these levels stupid when it comes to where the hell I'm supposed to go to move forward? Some of them are really easy to understand, and others have me searching for a door switch that doesn't even exist. Like this level later on. I go up to these doors, spamming the spacebar. I have the key that I need to open it. It doesn't open, so I assume that I need to find a switch somewhere, because that is a thing that happened in other levels. There were these bars, and you needed to press a switch instead of the bars themselves. I didn't! I just somehow didn't press the spacebar on the exact right position I needed to for it to open, so I spent a whole bunch of time in this level searching for a switch that didn't exist. Yeah, I was very upset about that. Not cool, not epic. Hashtag unepic. Anyways, the next level is a lot better than Refueling Station was, and it has the dreaded Archvile. This thing can revive other monsters and has a line of sight attack that does a ton of damage. It also disrupts your vision when this is happening. This concludes the lineup of monsters. Though there aren't too many new additions, they do make things feel a lot different from the first game. Not only that, but now they don't have to rely on every single monster for every single level. Like I mentioned before, the Pinkies really don't show up that much in this game, but also the Cacodemons can share space with the Pain Elementals. You can throw in the Mancubus every now and again to keep you on your toes. The Revenants can break up the repetitiveness of seeing 1,000 imps. There's a lot of imps in this game, I did notice. There's a lot of imps. There is a lot more variety here, and that helps a lot. It just feels significantly better than the first game did. The first game now, looking back, kind of feels almost like an unfinished game, which is really weird to say because that game is really good, but just in comparison, it's like, okay, this game really nailed the enemy lineup, like really, really well. Shortly after though, we start running into the city levels, and these are my least favorite by far. I really don't like the extreme use of verticality in some of these levels, especially not this part in downtown, since I can't actually see the imps, but they can see me technically, so they start shooting me and I can't, there's not much room to move around to dodge their shots, and I don't know exactly where they're coming from. Hell no, this part sucks. There's just so much of that where the hell do I go now that happens in these levels. I know it's not just me, right? It can't just be me. These levels are what caused me to drop the game last year. I don't exactly remember which one it was. It might have been like, I don't know, but it was one of these, and I was like, yeah, I can take a break. Suburbs isn't that bad. It has a lot, and I mean a lot of monsters spawning in at one point, but that's actually kind of fun because it's a big expansive area, and it's towards like the end of the level, so you're like ready for it kind of. You don't even have to like try to get them to infight, it just ends up happening because there's just so many that are shooting at you at the same time. It's great. I really like the level after it. It's a decent challenge without being a pain to figure out where to go, which is the best thing in this game. Plenty of powerful monster groupings as well. I also really like this great trap towards the beginning that will lock you in this room where the red key is. There are a lot of monsters here, but there's also a lot of ammo and other pickups that makes this manageable. Some parts are a bit bullish, but not too bad. I ended up saving mid-game a lot in this game, just way more than I did in Doom 1, but I really just didn't care at this point. It just felt like I was supposed to be doing this. And I mean, it is an option, so it's an option that they clearly wanted me to use. It just felt like I was supposed to be doing this anyway, so. Courtyard was a fun map that has a lot of infighting because of how many monsters there are. It's got some dickish traps. Wait. Other than that, though, it's fine. I hate the Citadel. It's another one of those where the hell do I go maps. If it wasn't for that aspect, I would like it a lot more. The monsters and the actual layout go together pretty well. The music in this level is also really nice, too. No, what holds this level back is the completely obtuse way in which I'm supposed to get the fucking blue key. It's so stupid and bullshit and not at all intuitive that I didn't even bother recording it because fuck you. Instead, enjoy this gameplay of me playing a deathmatch for the first time ever. I ended up winning. Fuck the Citadel. This next level features a cyber demon and a spider mastermind fight. I ended up winning. Thank God the Archvile can't revive them. I don't think he can, at least. I gotta say that Doom 2 has given me a way more rockets than I ever got in Doom 1. I love it. I try not to spam these things every second I could, but there were a few times where it was just the most optimal thing to do. like here. Barrels of fun. Yeah, interesting idea, I guess. It's funny because at this point I was thinking to myself, hey, there's barely any barrels in this game in comparison to the last, and I'm guessing they were saving them for this one. All the budget of the barrels was funneled into this one level. It gets a little nuts with the amount of monsters and the confined space you find yourself in. We fight the spider mastermind here at some point alongside its stupid babies. I liked getting them to infight, anything to save me some ammo. I was out of plasma rifle shots, so I used the chain gun. You shouldn't use the rocket launcher on him because he's like immune to splash damage or something, so yeah. There was a few archviles in this level, but nothing that my 50 plus rockets couldn't handle. Do you guys remember this level? This amazing level? It honestly wasn't that bad, but the concept is kind of baffling. Like, why would you do this? Did Sandy Peterson do this? I'm guessing he did. Let me look that up in real time just to make sure. Did Sandy Peterson make the worst Doom 2 map? Whoa, there's some stupid ass Reddit post that says Doom 2 is shit, the worst classic Doom by a mile. Bruh. Okay, Doom, did he? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, he did. Okay. Thought he did, just want to make sure. Fun fact, one of the first, if not just the very first video I ever watched talking about speedruns was talking specifically about this level. I don't hate the part that most people hate, you know, the very thin lines you gotta walk across for some reason. No, I hated the fucking pinky room. I spent a stupid amount of time in this part, to the point where I just started losing my mind and was doing stupid stuff because I was so pissed. Yeah, I don't know why it took so long on this. It's like a simple little room, but it just was painful, I don't know. Monster Condo is a neat level. Lots of monsters. This part looks like a library. Is this a condo? This isn't a condo. This is a library. This part of the level made no sense to me. It was weird. I had to run through it multiple times. Like, I don't... How does this work? Is there like a line you're supposed to walk across and then it like triggers the door to open? Because I didn't the first couple of tries I tried it and I didn't get the revenants, so I don't know why they started to show up after a while. Cool level though. The level before the second to last level has a cool double spider mastermind fight that seems like it would be a pain at first until you realize that there was an invincibility power up nearby, which is why you should always save. Because I took out the first one without knowing that. And then when I realized it was there, I reload my save and rushed towards that motherfucker. This level also has the most infamous monster closet in Doom 2, I believe. Luckily for me though, I didn't know that was coming up, but I managed to grab an invincibility power up, so I made it a complete joke. Yeah, this level is fun. I think the second to last level is one of the best levels in the game. The only problem is I don't have much to say about it. It's a solid level with solid enemy encounters and solid level design. It's sad that the levels that do the best get the least amount of spotlight because, well, there just isn't that much to say. Let's keep cutting to parts of this level because it's good. Like this, and this, and this. Yeah, this is epic. I really like this level. It felt like a good final test, I will say. So I'm glad it was here. I liked it. The last part of the level has an optional fight with a cyber demon since you can just jump into the portal to the final level. I did go out of my way to beat him, but then I realized that I kind of wanted the ammo for the next level since I didn't realize I was at the very end, so I beat him, but then I just reloaded the save. Before we go to the Icon of Sin though, I want to cover the 2 secret levels for this game since I just didn't do that for the last video. I didn't actually find them in my normal run because I forgot to like look up where they were so I could do that. Whoopsie. By the time I realized it was too late, so yeah, we can luckily just select the levels though. The first one is called Wolfenstein. Wait, yeah, this is Wolfenstein, alright. Kind of. The scale of the level is way off, and I'm not sure why they did that. I doubt they could just like import the levels from actual Wolfenstein, so my guess is that they had to recreate it, so why are we teeny tiny? As a consequence of this, multiple SS have been placed in the level where normally one single enemy would be. Also, the fact that everything is so much more open makes it feel a bit off. It just kind of feels weird. Like, yeah, this is really cool that it's in the game and all, but like, why am I like 3 feet tall? I really do like the new audio clips though. Not a fan of them having the demon damage sound though. Also, I don't know if the original Doom 2 had them have these triangles instead of the swastikas, or if this is like a more modern censorship option. If so, why? Literally nobody's going to care if you leave the Nazi symbol on the Nazi theme level taken from your World War II game. Especially not in Doom. Especially not when I can literally buy the other game. The symbols aren't changed there. It's just distracting and stupid. Anyways, we get to the secret exit and we get to play a super secret level now, which is the final level of the first episode where we fight Hans Gross. Here though, it's just a cyber demon. I ended up killing him with the pistol, which is funny. Missed opportunity to have one of the secret levels feature a Hitler in hell. That would have been kind of funny, I guess. You know, a little continuity in between two games. You kill him in Wolfenstein, and you kill him again in hell. But you know, whatever. Still kind of a cool idea that this is here in the first place. And as a Wolf 3D fan, I do appreciate it quite a bit. I do wish that things were to scale though. But anyways, back to the final boss. The Icon of Sin really isn't a boss, it's more of a wall. He's a wall. It will shoot out these cubes that will turn into random monsters. What you gotta do is fire these rockets into its skull hole. But since this is Doom, you can't just look up and shoot. You gotta ride this platform to get the right elevation and then fire. I really didn't talk about this at any point because I'm stupid and forgot, but Doom has some auto-aim that helps with targeting enemies that are flying. Only problem is though that it doesn't always work. If the enemy is too far away, it just won't even like try. It also just does not work for the Icon of Sin. You have to line the shot up to hit it. I was a bit confused at first. I thought that you had to like race down to the platform after hitting the switch up top, and it just seemed impossible. So I thought, oh, I must be really bad at this game because I'm not running fast enough. But no, once you hit the switch, it goes all the way up, and you can go up to it and press the space bar, and it will go all the way back down, then go up again after a few seconds. So you don't have to do what I thought you had to do. This level took me a while, mostly because of my confusion and because a couple of times I had to restart because an arch file spawned, and it's basically impossible to do when he's there. But after a while, I finally got it. Yeah. Also, it's John Romero's head. Everybody knows that, right? But yeah, John Romero's head is the thing you're actually attacking, which is epic. But yeah, that's Doom 2. Has some pretty great moments, but damn, and it has some stingers in there as well. Overall though, I did enjoy myself a decent amount, and I can definitively say that Doom 2 is definitely a better game than Doom 1 is by, I already said this at the beginning, a parking lot. Very good game, very good game. There is some other content Doom related that I do need to cover. I will cover at some point, including Thy Flesh Consumed. I'm less excited about covering Plutonia and TNT Evolution. I've heard that one's boring. I've heard Plutonia's hard for the sake of being hard. Not the biggest fan of that concept and anything, but maybe I'll cover it if people want me to cover it. Not anytime soon though. I want to give them a little break. But if you want to see that, leave it in the comments down below. And if you don't, then I will not do that. There's also more modern expansions like the No Rest for the Living and what is it, Legacy of Rust? I think that's the new one. I would like to cover those at some point, as those are modern, current century Doom expansions, official Doom expansions, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that won't happen for a while, I don't think. In terms of other FPS games, I'm thinking, and I put a poll up on Twitter, and I'll ask you guys to vote as well here in the comment section. So leave a comment if you want me to if you want me to play and review Quake, Duke Nukem 3D or Thy Flesh Consumed. That one's probably not gonna happen, but if you want me to play or review or whatever, not or, it's and. Can you tell them off script? If you want me to play any of those games, or which one specifically, let me know in the comments. If you don't, then I guess I'm gonna have to listen to Twitter, which is stupid. You don't want me to listen to Twitter, right? They're saying Duke Nukem 3D right now. I should do Quake first, I'm pretty sure. But if you guys don't post anything in the comments, then I'm gonna have to. After I review a lot more other games that I already have purchased, because I kind of promised to myself I'm not gonna buy any more games to review, since I already have like a backlog of games that I bought specifically to review, including the Cowabunga collection. I'm almost done recording every game I want to cover for that collection to make a video on it. It's been a year since I bought that game. So yeah, we're doing that, and then shortly after that, we're reviewing not Turtles in Time, what am I saying? Shredder's Revenge, because in like December or whatever, that studio or that developer team that made that game is making a Marvel beat 'em up, and I want to cover that. That seems like it's going to be cool. It actually is the same development team this time. I checked. It's not Digital Eclipse. Speaking of Digital Eclipse, though, you know they made the Wizardry Epic port? Not Epic, like the game, but you know the Wizardry modern version from last year. I didn't realize it was them. I might check that out. But not before I review other games that I've already purchased and are gonna make videos about, like Pokemon Arceus, Legends Arceus. I'm gonna do a first impressions on that game at some point. I also bought Metroid Prime, the remaster. I'm gonna do something similar to that, and I also have what's it called? Not the Terminator. What am I saying? What happened? What opened up on my computer? What is this? Steam, what are you doing? Shut the fuck up. What happened? What did I press? Get out of here. Big picture mode. Shut up, Steam. You're stupid. I didn't know what I pressed. Anyways, I just went to open it up to see. RoboCop. Yeah, I got a RoboCop game. The new one's coming out later this year. I've heard goodish things about the first one, so I wanted to review that soonish. I played a little bit of it, and I was gonna do a video on it, but then the Oblivion remaster came out, and then nobody watched my video on that, so I'm so glad I prioritized that game over RoboCop. Yeah. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. And you're Canadian. Are you watching this currently? If you are, leave a comment. You probably already left a comment anyways, even if I hadn't asked you, but yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Yeah, I'm also gonna start working on a massive Pokemon project. I posted about that already. I think once I get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video out, then I'll start doing that, maybe, if not sooner. So look forward to that, although that will take a long time to come out, so don't hold your breaths. Alright, peace out. What other games should I review? Let me know in the comments, even if it's not Quake or Duke Nukem 3D or whatever. Just let me know. And if I'm interested, if I think you're epic and awesome, then I might consider it. If it's something stupid like, oh, you should review this game you never heard of or have any interest in, then I won't. Alright, peace. This next level features a This next level features a cyber demon and monster. This next level features a spider demon and a spider monster.